Harris is going to be standing with Donald Trump on the stage. I'm going to be proud to be standing with a president that is 100% sedition-free.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about some lunatics over at MSNBC who suggest that John Fetterman, you know, the guy that just became the next Pennsylvania senator, the guy who had a stroke earlier this year, the guy who could not really communicate very well at all because he had a stroke and his brain is not 100% right. That same guy, well, they're suggesting that he could become the next presidential nominee for the Democratic Party in 2024. Now, I don't know why they would say a thing like this on television. Is it a big joke and I'm not in on it? Are they just trolling Republicans trying to gloat their victory in Pennsylvania? I have no idea. But before I go too far into it, let's roll this clip. If you want to see it in full without my commentary, the link, as always, will be in the description box below.
Fetterman as a nominee at some point for president. I know there's some variables, obviously, just a few. But I just, what he did in the super red, deep red parts of Pennsylvania, and the way that he ran ahead of Biden, as you were saying, ran ahead of Trump. I mean, it just makes you wonder about his future. Fetterman as a,
I mean, come on, like, let's be for real. Come on, Jen Psaki, you got to say something. Somebody's got to just come out and say that that's ridiculous, okay? And then we got a girl power panel in there, and some of you guys may just be blinded by the whole Democrat thing and Roe v. Wade. I understand, but come on. Fetterman, out of all people in the world, Fetterman. I mean, maybe they don't really need advice from me. Maybe they know what they're doing because they picked Fetterman, and that was an obviously bad candidate. He had some issues. Even before the stroke, he had some issues in Braddock, Pennsylvania. The whole pulling the gun on an unarmed black person out there, that was a whole big fiasco. He didn't really apologize for that. So there were some things before the stroke that were going on. But after the stroke, you still want to support this guy and think he has a chance of being able to win a higher office? I would presume that right now, after he got elected, which was, a miracle. I don't know what's going on. But after he got elected, my thought process was, okay, he probably stepped down now. He'll probably step down, and then the governor will appoint somebody to replace him. Somebody, when I was in the live stream last night or the night before that during the actual midterms, and if you came to the midterm live stream, thank you for that. I appreciate it. But somebody was saying he probably would step down, and then the governor would appoint his wife, not Fetterman's wife, but the governor's own wife, to become the next senator. I'm not sure how that works. Is there a special election? Anyway, I digress. The whole point is that they're seriously talking about Fetterman becoming the next presidential nominee. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's just, I don't even know what the thought process is behind that, because in 2020, the thought process was, okay, let's get the LGBTQs and the people of color. That didn't work, obviously. They tried to put Buttigieg out there. That didn't work. Buttigieg's LGBT with a husband and kind of short. That does not work for America. Now, before anybody gets offended, I'm not saying that I have something against short people or LGBTs. I don't particularly care, but I know how America is. I know how the country is. Most presidents, as are most CEOs as well, are above 6 foot tall. I think the last president below 6 foot tall was Jimmy Carter. And before him, it might have been a little while before that. In modern times, ever since like 70s and 80s, every president has been above 6 foot tall. That's a fact. That's just guaranteed fact. No female presidents, nobody really below 5'11", 6 foot. That's just what it is. It'll be the same thing with this here. With the president, it'll be the same way. Any other kind of position, it'll be the same way. There are certain kind of things you got to be able to do. Okay, Fetterman, he's a big, tall guy, but he looks like he's sick. He looks like, what's the man's name? Captain Eggman from Mega Man. He does not look appealing. And again, it's not me trying to be superficial or rude or anything like that. I'm just talking about what the American voter responds to. And it won't be a guy like John Fetterman. They would get Gavin Newsom or somebody like that in there. He fits the bill, tall guy, kind of handsome in that sense of the word. they'll put him in there and have him run up against whoever the Republican nominee is, whether it be Trump again, whether it be DeSantis, whether it be a guy like Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, whoever it is. They'll put him in there against that particular person and try to have success that way. But maybe they think that the election doesn't really matter. They'll just put him in there and people will vote for him regardless. They'll vote for him on the policies and principles. But then when he has a debate, what's going to happen? Remember, Fetterman was way ahead of Dr. Oz in the poll before the debate. As it got closer and closer to the actual midterms, his lead dwindled because he was out in the open a little bit more. People saw him and they're like, man, this guy's not really well. He's kind of sick right here. His brain is not really functioning properly. You talk to him and you try to have a conversation, it's not making any kind of sense. Even NBC, speaking about MS-13, DNC, MSNBC, NBC did an interview with John Fetterman, and the reporter went on Twitter and said that their small talk conversation was basically nonsense, gibberish. It didn't make any sense. She said that on Twitter. Now I'm paraphrasing, so don't quote me on that specifically, but she did say that there were some issues with their conversation, their small talk before the actual interview and or during the interview. So the guy has problems, but they're talking about he could become the next president. I mean, that's crazy to think. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to MSNBC. Shout out to all these left-leaning news organizations, news outlets. They let us know how they really feel and how they think about us as well. They got to think we're morons to want to vote for a guy like Fetterman after we've seen him. You see, it's one thing in Pennsylvania to have not seen the guy and you want to vote straight ticket Democrat. Okay, I understand. But we've seen him already. And after we saw him in Pennsylvania, the lead for Fetterman went down to basically it went from a shellacking of Dr. Oz to a narrow victory. You put him out there on the campaign trail trying to become the president, the stroke will be the focus. Dr. Oz did not want to make the stroke be the focus, but the stroke will be the focus. His past and Braddock will be the focus. His physical appearance, that will be the focus. It'll get real nasty and ugly. So I don't know. Maybe you guys were just bored, didn't have any time to really fill up the segment, but trying to put John Fetterman in there as a 2024 Democratic presidential nominee would be completely ridiculous and an absurd thing to do. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about MSNBC trying to, I guess, recruit John Fetterman to run in 2024? Are they trying to torture this man? Because it did the same thing to Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was not suited to run in 2016. She was barely able to walk from point A to point B on numerous occasions, falling down, tripping over, all kind of stuff. And then the same thing with Creepy Joe was so unable to run a campaign, they had him in the basement. Thank goodness for the bug. That was his excuse. Oh, I can't be in crowds because of the bug. Okay. So what are they going to do with Fetterman? They're going to put him out there. He's going to be talking to people and it won't make any sense. I don't understand what their thought process is here, but whatever your thoughts are, y'all let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I'm at. I think it's kind of a sick joke. Maybe they're trolling us. It's like, ha ha, we won Pennsylvania. You guys lost. The MAGA Republicans lost. I feel like it's that. I feel like we're being trolled and kind of humiliated here. So my message to anybody out there on the right especially would be to go vote whenever you can. I don't care if it's for dog catcher or the president of the US of A. Go out there and vote whenever you can. Make your voice heard. Do not stay home. Do not boycott. Do not protest. Go out there and vote because we cannot have any of these ridiculous mouth breathers controlling our future for us, because if we don't vote, they most certainly will. If we're not going to be involved, they most certainly will. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.